Today on Moms Every Day,
there was a little bit of that takes a village thing that happened, and I was appreciative of it.
city, country, or in between. Our panelists discuss where they prefer to raise a family. Plus, we're talking to foster parents.
It's just an opportunity for us to keep children safe while their parents get the services they need to improve their parenting skills. And in the meantime, we just love them while we can.
And we're in the kitchen with snappers making no-bake mini cheesecakes. It's all ahead on Moms Every Day.
We're making mom's life easier one small victory at a time. Moms Every Day, a show made by moms for moms.
Ladies, I definitely live in a rural community. We have 8,000 people in our town, and we have lots of opportunities here in Colorado for recreation and stuff. So I love living in Colorado. My favorite trailhead is just 5 minutes away from our house. So as a family, we get to do a lot of outdoor activities. That's why I love living where I live. But I don't feel I live rural enough. I wish we lived on a farm where my kids would always have some chores to do, because I still find that I don't have enough for them to do in our yard around the house. But if I lived on a farm, I can have them go outside and pitch some hay and clean up the cows.
Right now.
What do you think is a good setting to raise kids?
Well, my setting is a suburban setting. So to me, obviously, it's worked for us because we have the cultural activities that I want them to experience or wanted them to experience, but we also had a really small bedroom community that we were really in for all their sports, and we found everyone knows each other's name, and there was a certain amount of, I see your kid, we were talking about this, he's speeding, he just got his license. There was a little bit of that takes a village thing that happened, and I was appreciative of it. But that said, I didn't want them to be so sheltered that they never, knew a little bit more about the bigger city. So to me, it was the perfect balance to be in a suburb.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, the sheltering thing, I think, can be a big deal too when they grow up. So I like to take my kids to like a larger area where it can be more offerings or more diverse, or walking around where you need to be a little bit more careful, because I think that part of living needs to be shown to children as well.
Absolutely. Or like I remember you talking about your son likes to figure out the maps or the transportation in the city. That's such a great experience to learn about. Oh yeah, let's go figure out the transportation system and get from A to B and see how you do it.
It's a life skill that they get when you take them to the city.
It's a great
experience.
Yeah, we live in the suburbs. We've got the whole cul-de-sac thing working for us. The kids run around and clump to neighbors' houses, and I love that. But moving from the city, I do miss the cultural offerings. I miss the diversity. I miss just having so much life there. So we try to get back in town whenever we can. I want my kids to grow up knowing about museums and music and art, and but it takes intentionality. I think when you do live further away, you have to be intentional to get somewhere.
I think what the problem is that I think it's not about the setting, it's about the people.
So
if the people in the home are enriching each other and supporting each other and parenting and doing all the things that we know are important, the setting is irrelevant. It's what's inside that little core.
It's how you make the setting work for you.
Exactly.
Right.
When Jeff and Mindy Parker met, Mindy was already a foster mom. Their sons introduced them, and the rest is history.
We have his, mine, ours, and theirs. So he has one biological, I have 2 biologicals. We have 1 adopted and 3 foster right now. Our biological kids love fostering. They really take pride in it, and they're excited to welcome other kids in our home, and their rule of thumb is that we can never quit because this is what our family does. And we give other kids opportunities that they might not otherwise have and get to show them love that they might not otherwise get. So.
And their large family tends to draw looks.
People are often overwhelmed when they see us. We have a lot of diversity in our family as well as a lot of children.
People can get kind of scared sometimes when we walk in. We got 9 of us coming in, and we get complimented a lot though after they see that we run a pretty organized family.
Michaela Young is the service director at Cedars, a children's home and foster agency which places hundreds of children each year with families like the Parkers.
Children are removed from their home for many different situations. Sometimes it can happen at a moment's notice. Oftentimes if children are removed because there's an unsafe living condition, maybe there was domestic violence in the home, maybe there was drug use, they may be removed right away and placed in a foster home within the next hour.
Young says there's a huge need for foster families willing to take in teens who have aged out of the system, as well as siblings.
There are often times where siblings are split apart. They are not able to stay under one roof together, and this can be incredibly traumatic. Not only have they been removed from their parents, but now they're having to be split from their siblings, which is the only family that they know.
So what's the end goal of foster care? Sometimes kids who age out of the system are able to live independently. Other times, foster care leads to adoption or guardianship. But often, the most important goal is to reunite kids with their biological families.
The best part of my job is really getting to see the children and their families reunited. I love coming to work every day and hearing success stories of the work that we've done and the parents have done so that the kids can go home.
And foster families face some huge obstacles along the way.
They could get a phone call and an hour later a child is showing up at their door and they're asked to help them sign up for school, get them enrolled in childcare, make sure they have their medical appointments up to date. And it can pose some challenges logistic-wise so that people are really kind of working quickly to try and make sure that the kids' needs are being met.
The most challenging part of foster care is, as I said earlier, you are entrusted to care for these children as your own, but yet you have very limited control over the circumstances and the outcome. It's just an opportunity for us to keep children safe while their parents get the services they need to improve their parenting skills, and in the meantime, we just love them while we can.
The Parkers say the key to making their family work is consistency, structure, and most importantly, flexibility.
Take it as it comes and be open and flexible, and definitely partner with the bio parents to help it be a more successful transition for the children. The best part about being a foster parent is just having that opportunity to make a difference in the life of a child and their family, and watching them potentially be successful.
It's just rewarding just to see them flourish and, from what they came from and to what they are now.
Since 1999, 2,000 angels in adoption, as they're called, have come to Washington to share their stories with members of Congress. This was no different. Young faces grace the halls of the U.S. Capitol as lawmakers thank the parents who gave them a second chance. People like Kevin and Paula Burkhart, who say when their first child was born with Down syndrome, it gave their life new meaning.
We feel unworthy in a lot of ways, and we don't feel like an angel or that we are angels, but we do feel that we've been given a mission.
They since adopted 3 other children with Down syndrome and spend their free time sharing their story.
It's great because even though we're in remote North Dakota, with social media and the internet, I can do a lot of support with and helping other families all across the United States.
Here it was visible that from east to west, these families are making a difference.
We were adopted together in 2012.
Sonia Bullock returned from fighting in Iraq to a family tragedy. She didn't hesitate to adopt all 5 nieces and great-nephews. Sonia, who lost her own biological daughter, calls it a blessing.
God, when he took my daughter, he gave me 5.
The Institute says that in the U.S., nearly 400,000 children are living without permanent families in the foster care system, and over 100,000 of those children are available for adoption. Reporting in Washington, I'm Kelly Meyer.
Hey moms, it's Josh Elledge with SavingsAngel.com. Let's talk online shopping safety. Beware email deals or some deal you found floating around the internet. Always check the deal with the actual retailer before proceeding. It's smart to manually type in the retailer's web address separately rather than clicking through a suspicious email to ensure you're going to their actual site and not a dummy site made to look like the real one. Now, the second safety tip goes along with the first. You should see an HTTPS in the address bar, not just HTTP. This indicates that the site is SSL encrypted to safeguard your information. To double check, also look for the little lock icon in the web address bar. Legitimate sites will have this safety feature. And finally, don't make purchases online from a public computer if at all possible. These could include keylogger software to monitor usage and maybe even just help pinpoint technical problems. But it also means that if you input personal information, it's being logged and stored as you use the machine, making it possible that thieves who know where to look could find your information. It's always better to use a private computer you trust whenever possible. Just make sure that you're using the latest version of a browser and that your computer is up to date with spyware, malware, and antivirus protection. For SavingsAngel.com, I'm Josh Elledge.
Coming up after the break, we're in the kitchen with Snappers making no-bake mini cheesecakes. Meet our panelists. Pam Tauger, writer, producer, and mother of two. Melanie Dale, author of Women Are Scary, blogger at unexpected.org, and mother of three. Rebecca Rainier, Mom's Everyday host in Toledo and Flint, and mother of two. Erica Lewis Mansfield, journalist and mother of three. Annie Payne, Mom's Everyday host in Grand Junction and mother of three.
All right, we are in the kitchen today with Mark Edwards from Snappers, and we are going to make a no-bake dessert, and we have an assistant. Introduce your assistant.
We sure do. We have our big man, Andrew, my nephew, and he's going to help us make some no-bake mini cheesecakes today. Can you help us today, Andrew? All right.
Okay, so what are the components of our no-bake mini cheesecake?
Okay, this is about the easiest dessert that you come up with, and it's going to impress the heck out of your friends.
See, that's what I like. Easy, that makes people think I did a lot of work.
And you can do it with your family, and you can do it with your little ones, too.
Okay.
Right,
so
Andrew?
what do we have here? We're going to use today.
Okay, so we're gonna the components are of course original milk chocolate snappers. Okay, so we're gonna make this with the crust and the topping. So what I would want you to do is maybe chop up a few of those so that we can do it for the crust and for the topping.
Okay, so this is what we're looking for in the store for this ingredient.
Correct. The blue bag. Look for the blue bag.
Look for the blue bag.
It's the pretzel caramel milk chocolate cluster.
Okay.
And so what we're going to do is you're chopping that into small pieces. We have a little bit right here. And so, Andrew, can you help me just throw a few of those into the bottom of that? So pick up a few of these snappers and throw them right into the bottom of that.
So that goes in the bottom of our cheesecake.
A few more of those. Okay, one more of them. Go ahead. All right, and so then what we do is we take this and we press it down into the bottom just to keep it nice and flat.
You mush it a little bit.
Yeah, we mush it a little bit.
Mush it a little bit.
And so what we're going to do is just take a few of those and put them in the bottom. And are you going to eat that?
I just thought you might want one.
I think it's probably a good idea. So we're just mushing that down just to make it nice and flat on the bottom. And so then now we're going to move over to our filling. Our filling is a cream cheese based filling, and what we're going to do is use 8 ounces of softened cream cheese.
Okay, so that's just 1 brick of cream cheese we're talking about there.
And we're going to cream this with some sugar. Okay. So Andrew, why don't you come over here, and I'm going to turn this mixer on and start creaming this, and then you can add the sugar. Okay.
Can you scoop that?
So we're going to put this on a medium setting.
Nice.
Oh, there you go. Perfect. Now go ahead and dump that right in there, nice and slowly. Go ahead, go for it. Perfect.
Ta-da!
Okay, we're going to turn that up a little bit more. Doesn't that smell beautiful? All right, Andrew, you want to do one more scoop for us there?
Another one. Oh, good.
One more scoop. So we're going to do a half cup of sugar to 8 ounces of cream cheese.
Okay, you got it there. Nice.
Beautiful. Now, to make it nice and fluffy, we're going to add our whipped cream to it. Okay, so what we're going to do is take some whipped cream.
This is like a cloud. Looks like a cloud.
Doesn't that look delicious? And then we're going to take this and fold it in. Now to fold it in, you actually fold down the middle, and then you turn the bowl, And you're going to come down the middle again. Make sure you're getting all the sides around there. And you're just going to keep it nice and fluffy, right? So then we're going to take this and we're going to fill it into our molds.
Okay.
So we're going to take our spoons here.
So you're just using like a tablespoon.
So we're going to take a tablespoon.
Nice little plop.
And we're just going to spread it out. Now we're going to put this in the refrigerator, so don't worry how soft it is right now. We're going to harden this up. I'm going to throw some of these snappers right on top of there that we cut up. So decorate them, and just like this.
Can you do that?
Can you do that?
Like,
so take a big handful and go throw them on there.
That's perfect.
And then take this on here and then push them down a little bit. Push them down a little. Perfect. Now do that last one over there. Beautiful. Let's do it together. Perfect. Now we're going to take this and we're going to put this whole thing in the refrigerator for about an hour, and you have your no-bake mini cheesecakes made with
our blue bag of crunchy and salty pretzel
original snappers. So why don't we try this today?
Fantastic. Let's see what you think.
Oh, big bite.
Do you like it? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We like it. All right, this whole entire recipe is on MomsEveryday.com. For Moms Every Day, I'm Rebecca Rainier. Good job.
So ladies, this fitness family topic really hits home to me because I live in an area that's probably considered the fittest city in the country. And I feel like the kids, there's this pressure for your kids to be involved in everything. I mean, they're doing, my daughter's done triathlons already and she's 7 years old.
Wow.
And, they start swimming before they're 1. And, I feel like there's a pressure to get your kids involved in these activities that are supposedly going to get them fit and start them off on that way.
I think that's the wrong focus. I think the focus has to be on active and not fitness when you have little kids. Moving around and playing is what it's got to be, and then it develops. I mean, it goes over time the older you get, but the more they're playing, and it's at playing outside or playing in the ball pit or whatever it is.
Play tag.
Play tag. Yeah, I think because we have this all the time, we have to, as parents, make sure they're running around. We didn't have this when we were kids, the games, and so for me it was, my son wrote a contract when he was 8. These are the things I agree to do if you let me get this game system. Play outside first, get my homework done, but the moving around is what I wanted, not necessarily fitness.
But I also think it's very important too, or interesting topic when you have a girl, because I have 2 girls, and I think you need to model that because there's so much pressure put on body image. I think to let them know that they can be fit sometimes might counteract that.
Yeah.
I know I had the sports growing up, and I was a runner, and I think I was able to escape a lot of that body image because I did an activity that
you just did it naturally.
Right.
Right, organically.
But that's a focus on sports that is very, helpful. They learn those fitness skills if they're doing those sports.
But I think I was striving to be fit to be able to do that sport.
Right.
And I think there's a interesting kind of balance there when you
I
have
like that you're putting
females.
the focus on helping your children to feel good instead of look good, because we all know that looks are fleeting, but our health is all that we have. I think in our family we work pretty hard, but I think our nutrition could be a little bit better. That's it. And my kids, now that they're getting older, they're doing a lot of their own cooking, so I have to be a lot cognizant of teaching them how to cook more healthy food for themselves, as opposed to just the pot of ramen or hot dogs or pizza or whatever is easy for them. I'm going to try to be a little bit more conscious to add the nutrition as opposed to just the exercise too. Yeah.
It's midnight. Do you know where your mom is?
And it's amazing. I would tell anyone to do it. It's like you have a secret that no one knows about.
For more, visit MomsAfterMidnight.com.
City, country, house, or apartment, home is where your heart and your family is. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week on Moms Every Day.